Hello, today on the Urban American Outdoor Show, we're going to the South Pacific, to Palau and Trunk in the Micronesia Islands. You know, the incredible thing about this is I'm going to be hanging out with Dean Curl, incredible guy. He's a scuba diver, and he's with the Atlantic Rangers Scuba Club out of Philly, PA. You know, it's totally incredible, you know, to be involved with a group of people that really get out there and get involved and do things that you never seen before. The incredible thing, and we're going to bring it to you really hot, raw, and like always, with plenty of action. So I'm Wayne Hubbard, and this is the Urban American Outdoor Show. Welcome back, guys. I'm here with Dean Curl, man. Hey, thanks, money.
Thank you very much.
So tell me about your trip to Micronesia.
Well, you know, the trip to Micronesia was a one-in-a-lifetime experience. It took almost 24 months of planning. We did it in various stages. I was very fortunate and very proud to have the opportunity to dive with 21 African-American brothers and sisters from all walks of life. I mean, we had brothers that were Fortune 100 players, and sisters that were doctors and lawyers. Then we had people who were hard-working blue-collar people.
It was amazing.
Yes.
The rock islands were incredible. The marine life was just awesome. But what really got me was that looking at the footage, the pictures, everyone had a good time.
Yes.
Everyone was safe.
Safe.
And just tell me a little bit about that.
Well, you know, for people that are out there in TV land, a lot of people have to understand is that Micronesia is in the South Pacific. Mm-hmm. If you look on the map, you'll see it formerly known as the Caroline Islands, which was a major part during World War I and World War II. And they just recently had Survivor Palau shot. So it's a very eco-tourism type destination. It's hip, it's sexy, it's cool. You're not going to find, the 300-foot towers of glass towers like in Bahamas. There's not going to be too many casinos, but you will have the opportunity to get up close and personal with nature, on land and in the sea. And I've traveled all around the world, and I think that Micronesia, especially Palau and Trunk, which also is known as Trunk Lagoon, is probably one of the most beautiful locations I've ever seen in the world.
Simple man, see me a peaceful man, see me a humble man, see me of ambition. If you not like this, don't test this, cause you never could and never angle this. Don't like me, come test me, then you are gonna see who I got dead and buried.
Don't try to test, don't disrespect, don't underrate, try undertake. Don't try to test, don't disrespect, don't underrate, try undertake.
Nowadays I'm all about my money. Ain't nothing funny, I remember back when I was younger, thugging and hungry. Don't underestimate the fate of this G, I'm heavyweight. You're telling me you straight from the streets, give me a break. Don't make no mistakes, cause you a featherweight. You rap city to city, I rhyme state to state. And for all of y'all that wanna get down, go blow for blow, yeah, fight for the crown. We can do that, cause I ain't scared of none of you. I put my gun away, don't run away, cause we toe to toe. And we'll see who's the last man. I'll be the last man, must I say it all again? I'll be that last man, you're more comical than Jim Carrey. I'll make you fade away like Graham. Y'all remember Larry? Yeah. Y'all don't know my flow. Y'all can't stop my flow. What?
Don't try to test, don't disrespect, don't underrate, try undertake. Don't try to test,
you bubble. No man better than no man, no matter where you be or where you come from. Any man can be like a lamb or be rough like a lion.
Don't try to test, don't disrespect, don't underrate, try undertake. Don't try to test, don't disrespect, don't underrate, try undertake.
My thugness is solid to the bone. Can you handle the truth? Did you check your horoscope today and said I'm greater than you? Lyrically, physically, mentally, I'm the best. I'll say it once again to you, son. Don't test. For as long as I can remember, I've been writing rhymes. And if I'm not mistaken, I've been thugging the whole time. Read the signs and realize that I'm that wine that you've been waiting to taste. Now it's my turn to shine. I come from the finest venues, the most expensive on the menu. I call you Thunderbird cause you're only worth $1 or $2. And your crew is just like you. I wanna put them in a hole and turn a bottle up while I'm thinking, God bless their soul.
Don't try to test, don't disrespect, don't underrate, try undertake. Don't try to test, don't disrespect, don't underrate, try undertake.
See me in a mouth garden, talk the talk and walk the walk. See me walk in a manger. See
You know, one of the most important things about diving is safety first, safety second, and safety third, because you always want to come home to your family.
You know, the thing that was very impressive is you guys dove into this, and you got to tell people about
Blue
this,
hole?
the blue hole. They dove into this hole that actually went out into the blue corner.
Well, you know, it's funny, you know, there are blue holes all around the country, all around the world. Basically, a blue hole, you know, was a cavern that collapsed. And what happens is in this particular hole, like we'll see on some of the footage, we dove 2 locations, the Virgin Hole and the Blue Hole. The great thing about the Blue Hole, and I won't really get into the Virgin Hole because I don't want to offend anybody.
Yeah.
But the Blue Hole, you know, basically we came straight down, and we're talking about maybe 400 feet in diameter. We went straight down, and it comes into like a tunnel, and we're in an overhead environment. as you come out through the tunnel, there's a kind of an opening that opens up into the wall. So when you're talking diving, we have a vertical wall that we're opening up in, and then we swim along the wall. Now along the wall, you have all types of marine life. Everything from the prettiest tropical fish that you love to have in your fish tank to the apex predators, black and white tip sharks.
Well, that's what surprised me. And the other thing that surprised me is the current that you had. You guys had to strap down. You told me that if you didn't strap down, you might end up.
Well, what happens is the blue corner is something similar, like to your elbow in a sense, and you come out through the hole in the tunnel, and then you go down the wall. And what happens is the current runs anywhere from 2.5 to 4 knots. Now, if you were to do it miles per hour, that's almost 3, 4 miles, 5 miles per hour, and it's kicking. So what happens is we do a drift dive, and then right till we get to that point that's right there, what we do is that we hook up with a reef hook. A reef hook is like a round hook, and it comes on a piece of rope that extends possibly weighing about 10 to 15 feet, and we attach it to dead coral, because we all know that coral, is a living organism. So we don't attach it to live coral, we attach it to dead coral. And then what happens is we inflate our BCs and we just stand back, clip it to our vest so we're attached. So the current now pushes us back, and then the rope becomes taut, and we just enjoy the show. And the type of marine life that comes there, it's like I-95 on the East Coast, and if you're on the West Coast, it's I-4, and it's just totally amazing. I mean, you see schools of arrow barracudas, Napoleon wasp, countless sharks, black tip, white tip sharks, Caribbean reef sharks. You'll see a couple bull sharks occasionally, and if you're very, very lucky and fortunate, you might even see a manta ray.
Isn't that something? The other thing that was really interesting that was all the colors. You always think about, for me, I always thought about, in the ocean, you always think about the blues, but what was amazing, you guys had purples, and it was all these different brilliant colors, and it was so neat that how drastic the colors were, and that's some of the things that get me the marine life, and in being right down in the heart of it. Wow.
It's totally amazing because this was my first time in Micronesia, and I was just so engrossed and just blown away, Wayne, by the marine life. Like seeing 6-8 foot sharks, seeing schools of almost 500 arrow barracuda, all of the micro critters that I didn't really get an opportunity to really truly enjoy the small things about the dive, enjoy the colors. Now when I look back at it as we were going over some footage, and I'm like, wow, that was pretty awesome. But when you're doing the dive, you're like, wow, there's an 8-foot shark, wow. And
now, what was that big fish that was swimming around you? That was like
that was a Napoleon wasp.
Like he was pimping.
Yeah, that was a Napoleon wasp.
He was flowing like this.
He's a predator.
And he's
a predator.
He was smoothing like this and stuff. I was like, hold on, are you gonna eat them or what? But back to go ahead.
Yeah, he's a Napoleon wasp. He's a predator. As you can see, you're in Mother Nature, so there's certain rules that apply. When predators come in, everybody gives them space. Something similar, unfortunately to land. When we have bullies, unfortunately, that come on street corners. You
got to get it. Yeah,
law-abiding folk, sadly now, run indoors. Hopefully that'll change.
Well, when we get back, I'd like to talk to you about, some of the important things with the group, because a lot of people really, for me, it was so warming to see such a multicultural group of people doing this. When we get back, guys, we're going to talk about that. tell me about the plane, the wreck that did, the Jake.
Oh, the Jake.
plane.
The
yeah.
Jake.
Yeah.
The Jake is in Palau. It's about 5 or 10 minutes outside of Kokor, and you could probably see it from the Palau Pacific Princess, which is a very high-end hotel in Palau, in Kokor. And the Jake is a Japanese Imperial Navy seaplane, and one of our dive bombers, Paya Korsor, caught it and shot it down. And she sits, in a little murky lagoon in about 55 feet of water, and she's fully enclosed. After almost 60 years of being on the water, I mean, it looks like you could scrap some paint on it and run it through Grunham, and she could be flying in a couple months.
Well, I saw you doing your thing. You was in there checking it all out.
Yeah, we were in the cockpit, and I positioned myself where people could see where the guns were. But the most unique thing about this part of the world, it is when you look at the footage, Wayne, it's so romantic, so beautiful, but there was a major conflict that was going on between, the government of Japan and the Allied forces that were involved. So, I mean, as you're going to see in a lot of his footage, you're going to see war casualties. You're going to see a lot of violence. You're going to see bullets. You're going to see explosions and wrecks. You're going to see the real McCoy.
Well, guys, I always tell you we like to bring you something hot, heavy, and unique, and this is what it's all about. When you can get something that someone's really did, went down, checked it out, tell them about the jellyfish. Tell them. Now, there's some footage that freaked me out, because one of the things with my experience with jellyfish is if you're in a jellyfish, they'll sting you. But there's some footage. Tell them about the lake. What is it?
Well, you know what it is that, when you're in Palau, the world famous Rock Islands, that's what you see in all of the video footage.
Man, tell me about the jellyfish.
Well, Jellyfish Lake in Palau there's nowhere else anywhere in the world like it. Basically what it is, it's a self-enclosed saltwater lake. And what happens is that when the jellyfish were there's no natural predator. So they just kept multiplying and they lost their stinging effect. So now you can completely swim, in this lake. And the great thing about it is that the lake temperature, it's a saltwater lake, is normally 2 and 3 degrees higher than the ocean. So when you walk in, it's like jumping in a jacuzzi.
Oh man!
And it's for great photo ops. And hey, I'm 6'2", 240, and I'm a little queasy around jellyfish down there. So it took a little while for me to get used to that these puppies weren't stinging, because they're big ones.
Oh, they were big ones. Huh? Now, you actually had to hike up to.
Yes, because what happens is that the lake kind of sits kind of above sea level. So what happens is we go up a cliff, then we come down it, and then the lake is right there. So it's a good, I would say, 1/4 mile hike from where we dock the boats.
All right. Well, guys, again, like Dean, it's always wonderful, man.
Thank you very much.
And everything. We're gonna break some champagne. I gotta get Captain Barry, if he could bring us a couple glasses of champagne, it would be great. And this is how we do it. This is how we do it, urban American style.
Peace.
Thank you, my good man.
Thank you.
Enjoy.
Thank you. There you go. And in those famous words of David Chappelle, we keeping it real. So, until next time, I'm Wayne Hubbard, and this is the Urban American Outdoor Show.